guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Faye, and for today's video, I am bringing you guys a little versus battle makeup edition. I'm very excited to be sharing today's video with you guys because it actually came from you guys. So a couple of weeks ago, I reviewed the Too Faced Born This Way Matte Foundation, and then a week or so after that, I reviewed the NARS Soft Matte Foundation. And when I put up the NARS review, I had a couple of you guys ask me which of the two I preferred. So the first time somebody asked me, I was like, I'm not sure. That's a good question. And then I got like one or two other people that asked me the same question, and I was like, you know what? We're gonna figure it out and we're gonna do it on camera. So for those of you guys who are interested, and those of you guys who maybe didn't realize you were interested until I posted this video and you were like, oh, I'm kind of interested, we can all figure out together which of the two wears the best, you know, what my preference is. You know, we're just gonna figure it out. So I don't know if you can tell, I do obviously right now have one foundation on one side and one foundation on the other. So pause this video and let me know down below, or just really quickly leave a comment down below and let me know which side you think is which, left or right, which side is NARS, which side is Too Faced, if you can even tell, because honestly I cannot. And yeah, today we're just going to do a quick little 6-7 hour wear test, and we're gonna see which one of these foundations is able to stand the test of time being 6 or 7 hours in today's case, and which one really holds up on my oily skin. If you're new to my channel, I have very, very, very oily skin. So we're gonna see. So before we jump into the video, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you join the fam. Be sure to click on the subscribe button down below. And if you enjoyed today's video, or if you enjoy reviews, or if you're an oily skin girl and you feel the struggle, definitely go ahead and give this video a thumbs up to let me know. And also, it just helps to get my video out to more people that might find this type of video useful. So without further ado, we got NARS, we got Too Faced. Let's go ahead and get into the battle. All right guys, so as you can see, I'm about halfway through with my makeup. This look will be going up in about a week or so, so if you're interested in seeing how I got this glam, definitely stay tuned for that. But for this video, as I mentioned in the intro, we are going to be comparing the Too Faced Born This Way Matte and the NARS Soft Matte. I had several of you guys asking me about which one of these two I liked the most after I posted my individual reviews on both of these foundations, and I said, you know what? I don't really know which one I would prefer, so I'm going to test it out for you guys and we can both figure it out together. So before I actually go into applying the foundations, I'm of course going to go ahead and prep the skin, and I'm just going to do my regular primer concoction, like my regular skin prep process, to give both of these foundations a very equal, you know, chance at seeing which one is the best. So to start, I'm going in with my Too Faced Hangover RX 3-in-1 Replenishing Primer and Setting Spray. And I'm also going to go ahead and push this back so that we can make sure we blend our foundation into our hairline. And then the next primer I'm going in with is my Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Primer. You guys already know. I pretty much use this like a moisturizer. It does help control oil, but it also just feels so nice on the skin. So I love applying this as like my first layer before I go in with anything else. So after that, we're going to fill in these pores. I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I've actually really been enjoying this lately, and it's so inexpensive. So if you're looking for a nice product to fill in your pores, I would definitely recommend this one. They also have this product in a matte formula, which I have. I don't know why, I just don't reach for it as much. I need to start using it and seeing like if I like it more, especially since I get really oily in this area. But I don't know, I just don't ever reach for it as much. And then last but not least for primers, you guys already know, my Milk Hydro Grip. I'm just going to apply a little bit of this all over. And then to set all of those in place, I'm going in with my Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Setting Powder. This is a pressed powder, and I'm just going to lightly just set everything down. And this will also give our skin a nice barrier to protect it from oils throughout the day, which if you did not know, if you're new to my channel, I have very oily skin. So if you don't have super oily skin, you don't have to do all of these like skin prep steps, like pre-prep steps. But I like to do them because I do have oily skin, and if I don't, I'll be an oily mess. All right, so now it's time for foundation, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the NARS on my left side, and I'm going to do the Too Faced one on my right side. And I have two different brushes. So I'm going to do the gold. I have the Morphe Y7, just to help me remember. Gold, because this has gold in the packaging. And then I also have my favorite brush that I use all the time. This is the Morphe x Jaclyn Hill JH03. And I'm going to pair that one with the NARS foundation. Now I'm going to pump both of these on my little mixing tray, because I want to try to get as close of a match as possible, because I do have some other stuff to do today, like pictures and stuff like that. And if you watched my review on this particular foundation, or other times that I've used it in other videos, you guys know that I always like to mix it with this LA Girl Pro Color foundation mixing pigment. It does not change the formula of the foundation, but it is going to kind of help it to what do I want to mix this with? I think I'll use this little spatula. It is going to tone it down a little bit because it is very, very warm. So, and that blue is just going to help to neutralize it a little bit and make it a little bit more cool toned, if that makes sense. So I'm just mixing a little bit of that in. And if you want to see more about this mixing pigment, I'll link some of the other videos that I use this foundation in, where I kind of talked a little bit more about it. But I highly recommend these pigments. They come in blue for neutralizing, white for if you want to lighten a foundation, and also orange if you want to warm it up. Me in particular, foundations tend to be too warm for me. So I went with the blue one. And then on the left side of my little tray, just to make sure that I keep them separate, I'm going to squeeze out a little bit of the NARS one. Now the NARS one is already pretty neutral, so I'm not going to add anything to it. And the color probably is not going to be perfect, but just so you guys can see, we have NARS over here and Too Faced over here. You can see the Too Faced one is just a little bit more on the warm side, but like I said, I don't think we're going to be able to get it absolutely like a perfect match. So we're just going to roll with it. I'm going to apply the Too Faced first. So we're just going to buff that in. And hopefully once we apply, you know, other products, it'll all kind of even out. And I've never done like a side-by-side comparison, so I'm trying to really focus and make sure that I don't accidentally start blending on the other side. Because I'm definitely one of those people, when I'm doing my makeup, I just get so like caught up in what I'm doing, and I could easily see myself just going over here and messing myself up. So yeah, just blending this in. Okay, so one side, we got the Too Faced side on. I'm kind of excited, you guys, about this review because these are both really good foundations. And like I said, I really don't know which one I like better. So I'm equally as curious as you guys are. So I'm excited to see how this is gonna turn out. So now we're gonna do the NARS side. So I'm just gonna dip my brush in, just like we did on the other side. Now I will go ahead and say that the NARS foundation, it goes on a lot more neutral and kind of like olive toned. But as I start to apply my other products on top, like my concealer and powders and everything like that, it does kind of blend into my complexion. So that's one thing I did notice with this one. It goes on a slightly different color than how it looks, you know, once everything is done and it settles into the skin. So don't be alarmed. This one will look just a little bit like it doesn't match my complexion, but it will all come together. Okay, so both foundations are on. So we got Too Faced. Let me keep this one over here so I don't get confused. So we have Too Faced over here, and we have NARS over here. The coverage is pretty much the same, in my opinion. Both of them are medium to buildable full coverage. I don't really see any difference at all in the coverage. The only difference I do see is that the Too Faced side is definitely more matte. I don't know if you guys can tell that on camera. Compared to the NARS side, you see how it's giving me like a little bit of radiance on the skin? It's more of like a natural matte. Let me make sure I'm in focus so you guys can see. Okay, so the NARS side is giving me a little bit of glow, a little bit of natural matte happening. Whereas the Too Faced side is pretty much just giving me a very flat matte look to the skin. Which I personally like both options. But, you know, depending on what your preference is, you may like one or the other. Or if you want to use this foundation and you don't have oily skin, you may prefer the NARS side, which is going to give you more of a soft matte, compared to this side, which if you have dry skin, it may make you look a little bit more dry. So just wanted to mention that we got a natural matte happening here, and we got a more just straight up matte happening on this side. So next I'm going to go in with concealer, and today I'm going to use this one from Milani. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer in the shade Warm Beige. And I'm just going to conceal my normal way in all the areas I normally would conceal, and then blend it out with my beauty sponge. Alright, so this is how we're looking with the concealer, and then I'm going to go ahead and also set my face with this CoverGirl True Blend Minerals Loose Powder in the shade, what shade is this? Banana. Alright, so this is how we're looking so far. I kind of have a little bit of baking happening on the face right now. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face for this tutorial that I'm filming, and then I'll be back at the end to show you guys how everything came together. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. This is how everything came together. Just as a reminder, we have Too Faced on this side and NARS on this side. You probably literally cannot tell which side is which, or maybe you can, I don't know. But this is how it all came together. I have already had this on my face now for about an hour because I was filming another video, the rest of this makeup look, and also this hair portion. So it took me a few minutes because I had to install the hair and straighten the hair and, you know, just finish filming that video. So like I previously mentioned, that video will be coming very soon if you want to see how to get this beat. But I just wanted to let you know that it has been about an hour since I actually finished my makeup, because I did, you know, do a portion of installing this hair. So let's just say that we finished around 5 p.m.-ish. We'll go with that, around 5 p.m. And I'm going to try to wear this makeup on my face for at least 6 hours. So that'll be until 11. I think that will be more than enough time, honestly, for me to know if there's really a difference. Right now, looking at my face, they look exactly the same. Like, especially now that I have all of my other products on my face, they look exactly the same to me. So we're just going to let the makeup do its thing, let my skin and my oils and everything that normally does what it does do its thing, and then I will come back and of course check in with you guys and let you guys know how it's all coming together. Let me also give you a close-up really quickly just so you can see. Okay, so here's a close-up of the skin. This is the NARS side. This is the Too Faced side. And like I said, in all honesty, they look exactly the same as of right now. So I'm gonna go on about my day wearing this makeup. I'm gonna be vlogging and probably also doing a little bit of editing and just doing different things around the house, and I will check back in with you guys a little bit later. All right guys, so I am back checking back in with you guys. It is currently 11:30. as you guys can see. And I mentioned earlier that I had this makeup on starting pretty much at 5. So it has now been 6.5 hours that I have had this full beat of makeup on. So I'm of course coming back and checking back in with you guys. And first, can we get into this hair though? I filmed, as I told you guys earlier, this whole look, including the installation of this hair. Shout out to Nia Wigs. This hair is everything. If you want to know more about it, I will of course link all the details for it whenever I post that holiday glam video. But baby, it's a headband wig, and I mean the texture, the thickness, it's giving the girls what they need in life. But you guys are not here to hear about the hair, you're here to hear about the makeup. So let me get a little bit closer and show you guys how the skin is looking. All right, so here we are up close and personal. Again, remember this was the NARS side and this was the Too Faced side. So both sides have some oil seeping through, and let me turn down the brightness just a little so that you guys can see. So both sides have oil coming through. Around my nose on this area is pretty oily, but similarly around my nose on this area is also pretty oily. My nose in general is oily, and my cheek area on this side, per usual, is oily. Same thing on this side, per usual. And both sides of my forehead are equally as oily. So honestly, it's kind of hard to judge which one I think is better or worse, because to me, in all honesty, both of these, I mean, they look kind of the same. I don't know. I guess if I had to choose, I would say the NARS side is probably ever so slightly more oily. And that's probably just because, like I showed you guys, it was more of a natural matte finish, whereas this side is more of just a straight matte finish. But I am going to blot a little bit, so I just have a tissue right here. So we're just going to blot just like I normally would. So this is the NARS side, how much came off on the tissue. So now I'm going to, let's fold it over and do the Too Faced side. Alright, so this is the Too Faced side. I'm just going to stay on the same side and also blot my forehead. Okay, and don't mind this little situation right here. We had gyros for dinner, so obviously your girl was stuffing her face and I got a little lipstick on my chin, so don't mind that. But this is the face blotted. Okay, I just backed up a little bit so you guys can see. But this is what the skin is looking like after I blotted it. So again, we have the NARS side, and then over here we have the Too Faced side. Now I will say, after blotting it, I think it's a little bit more clear to me that the Too Faced side is definitely still giving me more matte, with the exception of where I highlighted the skin right here. The rest of my face is giving me very much matte on this side, whereas on this side I feel like, I mean, just as the name suggests, it is a soft matte. So I still see a little bit of a natural glow happening on the skin. Of course, I see where I highlighted, but all the other areas, I still feel like I'm getting more of a natural kind of glow coming through. Still matte, but it's more of a natural matte look. Whereas on this side, it doesn't look cakey or, you know, it doesn't look bad or anything, but it's definitely more of a flat matte. Whereas this side is giving me more of a natural matte. So yeah, I mean, I know the whole purpose of this video was for me to hopefully be able to tell you guys which one I think you should purchase. And honestly, I kind of feel like it's going to depend on your preference. If you are somebody that has dry or normal skin, I would probably recommend for you the NARS Soft Matte, because that one is going to give you still that matte look, that long wearability, but it isn't going to be super matte to the point that your skin feels dry and like tight and cakey. It's still going to give you that kind of matte, natural, hydrated type look, whereas the Too Faced foundation is probably going to be a little bit too matte for you if you have dry or normal skin. If you have combo or oily skin, I would probably recommend for you the Too Faced foundation, because that one is going to give you that super matte look, and as you go throughout the day, as your oils start to come through, it will kind of turn into that more natural matte that the NARS gives, but it'll still give you, as an oily skin person, the oil control, the mattified look on the skin, and then also the long wearability. So for me personally, I do have super oily skin, and I could see myself using both. I could see myself using the NARS foundation for like everyday wear, and then maybe using the Too Faced foundation on days when I want to look a little extra flawless, or when I know I'm going to need my my makeup to last a little bit longer than usual. Then maybe I would go in with the Too Faced foundation. But honestly, if I was like going on a trip right now and I had to pick one of the two of those foundations, I would feel pretty confident picking either of the two of those, and you know, being fine with wearing that particular foundation for an extended period of time. So hopefully this was helpful. I know to those of you that specifically asked which do I like better, it probably doesn't really answer that question for you, but hopefully based on whatever your skin type is, the suggestions or the like the review that I gave will kind of help you decide based on what your particular skin needs are. So I had a lot of fun filming this video. It's not often that I come up with video ideas from you guys' comments, so thank you so much to those of you that left those comments and gave me this idea. If you guys have any other ideas of videos you would like me to film, please feel free to leave them for me down below, because like I said, I had a lot of fun filming this video and testing it out, and just kind of like, you know, being on edge trying to see which foundation was going to win the battle. So for me, it's a draw. It's a tie, but for you, depending on if you're on the dry normal or combo oily, there, you know, one of the two of them may actually be the winner for you. So if you stayed all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. You are the real MVP. I appreciate you guys so much, and really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me and watch today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please take a second to give it a thumbs up. It only takes a second. It's absolutely free, and you know, it just helps to get my video out to more people that may be interested in a video like this. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I have to share with you guys for today's video. So thank you so much again for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon in my next one.